Maverick traders, welcome out to your market roundup for August 25th. Corey here with you. We're going to take you through meaningful news. We're going to talk about what the Fed's latest guidance is. We're going to talk about different trade setups, the bulls, the bears, the sideways opportunities.
All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. This video has been released to the public after a delay required by our compliance department. Maverick traders receive this market recap immediately, along with real-time trading support and resources. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that backs professional stock and options traders with firm capital. Our traders keep 70 to 80% of the profits they generate. If you're ready to become a professional trader, click the apply link in the video description below. Let's break down what happened in the markets today.
So as we take a look at this week, we started off a little bit on the wrong foot. Dow down just under 1%, S&P, NASDAQ slightly lower, Russell 2000 down 1. Oil was the big gainer today, up 1.5%. Gold slightly lower. So what's been happening? Well, U.S. government is now announcing ownership stakes in stocks, beginning with Intel taking 10% ownership. There's suggestion that there's going to be governmental stakes in other country or other companies. We've seen it before where governments have stepped in to backstop in panic mode, but this gets into a different arena. This is basically them providing capital potentially in the future to backstop their ownership stake. And so you'd have to assume that these companies have the whole world as their oyster, because the government can print money. And so if they have a stake in Intel, they want Intel to succeed, they might provide more capital and more capital as needed in the future. We'll see how it goes. You also have different potential risks. Is the Trump family receiving anything, getting something out of the deal? There's all sorts of question marks. Jackson Hole brings about hope that the Fed will cut by 25 basis points. Powell seemed to be leaning in that direction. Advanced decline line, 67% of stocks falling today, and the 50-period moving average, 60% of stocks now above their 50, which is a little bit of an improvement from last week. As we look at the S&P, you can see we're still in an upward trend, but this upward trend is, I would say, a consolidating upward trend. So as I were to look at this, I would say you have essentially the lows back here, but you really haven't made any progress in the last few weeks. Yeah, we haven't gone down, but we're basically in this zone. Yeah, we had a little drop there, but we really haven't made any real progress since about a month ago. So we're consolidating. We're in a little bit of a range-bound market. Is it still more bullish? Do we still have some upward slope in the moving averages and such? Absolutely. But it doesn't have a lot of momentum. It's just a little bit of a consolidation. The NASDAQ, the same thing. You can draw the lines how you like. You can say, well, it's sort of an ascending triangle type of pattern, a little bit of a consolidation. We're essentially where we were just a few weeks ago, and that's true. I mean, that's essentially where we find ourselves. If you were to go back a month and then you look at today, we're basically right around the same levels. So we're in a bull market, but we're consolidating the gains. We're building up some choppiness. Now, consumer defensive, very much on the weaker side of things. Healthcare, very much on the weaker side of things. And industrials, very much on the weaker side of things. A lot of red in those spots. Elsewhere, it's a little bit more of a mixed bag. You've got some green, you've got some red spread out, but I would say those three sectors seem to be the worst performing today. Now, let's look at a few charts here. If we start with analog devices, this is a stock that has broken out. We broke to new highs, and as we did so, we saw an increase in volume down here, all the classic characteristics you want to see on a break to the upside. So ADI still pretty darn strong overall. If we look at other bullish candidates like Lennar, maybe you have more of a high base. We ran to the upside and now we're in a little bit of a consolidation up here, but still pretty strong on the original break higher. You can see the increasing volume as we surge to the upside. expectations would be that there's still more room for this thing to go after a slight consolidation. On the bearish side, we would be looking for things more on the downward trending phase. And here we have one with Coinbase. Now, there's been a lot of quote unquote good news for crypto being allowed into 401ks, IRAs, those sorts of things. And yet, Coinbase, a major broker in the crypto space, is in a downtrend. 20-period moving average downward sloping. We had a bearish cross right here where we've got a new downtrend being confirmed, and then the chart pattern itself is really a low base on the cusp of a potential breakdown. Out of all the charts I looked at, this one looked very, very good from a technical perspective for more downside. You could even kind of see a little bit of an inverse cup and handle type of dynamic. It looks like a bouncing ball where you drop the ball and each subsequent bounce is a little bit smaller bounce than the one before until it falls off the table, right? And that's what I'm seeing here in Coinbase. So really like that as a bearish candidate. And last but not least, TDG, another in the bearish list. This one, more of a descending triangle type of pattern. You have a series of lower highs. You have relatively equal lows. And the expectation is that the break will be on the downside and will make new lows, take out the prior lows, and continue on this downward trend. So markets have something for everyone. They're in a little bit of a consolidation phase. This week is particularly quiet. We have very light earnings, very light on the economic reports. We got preliminary GDP here in the US on Thursday, and then earnings season is winding down. You still have some companies reporting: Alibaba, Dell, Dollar General, Nvidia, Snowflake, but we are at the final stages of earnings for this quarter. Hope you enjoyed today's market roundup. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.